Hey everyone, it's Dustin with TechMD. I got a brand new, poor, sad Google Pixel XL3. As you can see, it's jammed, and I heard a story that someone threw something at somebody. I don't know what happened to this poor thing, but obviously it needs to be fixed. So just like my previous Pixel 3 video, no one's actually made a full teardown of this or the Pixel 3 like I did earlier. So I'm going to do this one and tear this down. I've already took a peek inside this phone from Zach's channel, Jerry Rig Everything, and it looks just as complicated as the first one. So this may be an hour-long video. So once again, I always do full detailed YouTube videos, so please, if you want to fast forward, you can, but I'm not going to leave out a single detail. Everything is recorded. As I found out, you actually have to pull the battery out of this phone as well as the motherboard and a bunch of cables and charge port just to get the screen off this blasted phone. So we're going to do that right now. We're in for a long, long ride. My setup going on. Hopefully we got some good lighting, and we are going to do it with Samsung Galaxy 10 Plus right now. Hopefully in 4K. All right, so first things first is we're going to start off with the heat gun here. We're going to get nice and toasty and warm and hot to the touch. So hot that we have to use gloves here. So we can't turn the phone off because the touch is not able to work. And he needs it fixed right away, so we can't wait for it to die. It's fine, just don't warm it up too much where you blow up the battery. Just nice and even circles and fast movement is the key. So currently it's at 900 degrees on the heat gun, which is the high setting here. But if you have a digital control one, 900 is just fine. So remember, we want it near burning to the hot touch. And we've got it. We're going to just start in here and slice, but not very deep because you don't want to cut any of these precious cables in here. So like 1/4 of an inch. Okay, now that we've got some of the adhesive sliced, yeah, feel free to get in here and watch if you like. We're just going to take our tools and start trying to separate it as much as possible. Just warm it up a little bit more here. All I'm doing is pulling up with my fingers here and twisting it up. Same action, twisting. Okay, we don't want to break it, so don't do too much twisting. It's not giving you any axis, it's giving just resistance. Stop and get to a better action point here. So I'm just using my fingers to get in there, and we're going to start separating here. Best to do is one of these plastic, oh there you are, plastic picks. That way we're not cutting anything. Lots of adhesive on this bad boy. Remember, this is an hour project for a professional technician who's been fixing phones since smartphones came out, which was about 11, 12 years ago now. Okay, it looks like there's a bunch of T4, T5 screws everywhere throughout this phone. Completely different than our last phone, the Google Pixel 3. And let's actually do this properly here. I'm gonna use plastic tool to separate that off. Looks like we got some captain's tape. We're gonna get our tweezers out. and take off this captain's tape. Alright, we got the back panel finally separated. While it's warm, I'm just pulling off some of the excess adhesive. See how our T5 takes this down here. Looks like it is good. Unfortunately, I do not have a T5 for my wow stick. It's probably best because it's a good way to strip screws. Just re-magnetize it here. So far this one's a little bit easier to tear down than the last one. Screws are not all, well, there are a few that are different sizes. I'd still keep it organized. Okay, it looks like we got all the pieces off, and now we're going to go ahead and pull this bracket off. And our next bracket here, hopefully there's no hidden screws. Companies love to do that. This, just like the last one, looks like a potential HTC design. This one is fighting me quite a bit to come up. Trying to find a different way of attacking. Oh, okay, it looks like we got a hidden screw right here. Buried in adhesive. Put it right there. looks like this thing is stuck down too. See what we're getting ourselves into here. Just glued down so it's giving me some force. There's no cables though I can see. Not yet. Can't tell. Try to get this up here. Maybe a hidden screw here. Yep, a hidden screw, another one. Oh, I'm just gonna leave that screw in there since it wants to stay in there anyways. Okay, this one worries me the most. Making sure there's no... What the heck? Oh, okay, I connected here. So that's probably what the speaker's connected to. Nice. So this right here was connected underneath this panel here. So gotta watch out for that. All right, let's start slowly tearing this down here. We can finally disconnect the battery, and now we get no more flickering. Holy moly. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. I've replaced iPhone batteries. They're not nearly as crazy.
Yeah, this is
To be fair, I
10 times more trouble.
So, I gotta, what does this do to the waterproofing after? What's waterproofing from?
So the waterproofing is the actual water seal.
Mm-hmm.
So we use the actual adhesive for the water resistant seal, not waterproofing. There's no such thing.
Right.
Just water seal. I would say not bathtub anymore, but still like rainwater, that kind of stuff. If it dunked in the bathtub or you dunk it in the pool, it might not survive after re-repair.
What about like steam? Does steam worry about that sort of thing? Or?
Steam, no, I think you'd be just fine. Just never expose it for more than 30 minutes.
No.
So if you're having a really hot shower.
I take it with me into the sauna so I can keep track of time.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think you're just fine.
Put it in a plastic baggie like the rest of us.
No. This is why I moved away from my Google 6 Plus or my iPhone 6 Plus.
Google 6.
Yeah, I will use all the resealing as much as possible for you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Oh, it's so it makes me so nervous.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's all just so small.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally just carrying around tiny computers.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Looking at these cameras, I don't think the cameras actually need to be removed. So we're going to probably just leave them in there, but we'll see here. I am removing more screws that are hiding around inside and just checking to see if there's any more motherboard screws that I can see. There's another connection here, another connection here that we got to disconnect. It looks like this is to, I don't know what that is to. Not yet, but we're gonna disconnect it here. Maybe the other camera? I don't know. Oh, maybe loudspeaker. Ah, interesting. Oh, look, another screw. Imagine that. Come on. Why so many? Okay, we're gonna disconnect this one here. That looks like a microphone. Now, does the charge port have to come with us? No, it does not look like it. But what does look like we have to disconnect is, we might not even have to take out the SIM card tray here, which would be nice. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect these wires here so the whole motherboard can actually pull up. So I'm doing significant pulling my way just to see if I can get this motherboard loose here. Feels like something's gripping on it right here. I don't see anything that's connecting it yet. A hidden screw, something. Oh, just really in there. Oh, okay, so there's this black piece right here that was really holding it in tightly. Wow, this is crazy design. Wow, it's truly cool. My one and only Google Pixel XL3 screen here. Oh, it's just one cable. Cool. Not two cables like the other one. Looks like we might need to salvage the ear speaker mesh. And this whole thing here might have to remove the battery. Okay, this looks like the sensor to the squeeze sensor. So we're going to move this out of the way. Let's just push it up here and out of the way of what we're about to do. I think we'll be able to take this out without having to remove that battery, which will be better because we don't want to potentially ruin that battery. So let's go ahead and blast it with heat. I would highly recommend testing your screen before doing this, but his screen was already bad. So if my screen doesn't work and I've already sealed it, then it's my money lost. But if you can, try testing it before tearing down the whole entire phone like I did. So this screen is sealed on pretty tight, as I remember, on the Google Pixel. So we're going to get it so hot that it's going to start turning potentially yellow. As you notice, I'm moving things around here. I don't want to burn his table, but I'm also not wanting to burn my mat. Okay, that's pretty hot. Remember, we're going to try to salvage those ear meshes. And I can use the iFixit tool if I need to. The iFlexit tool, excuse me. But I'm using the iseasmo tool. Or also the iFixit toolkit. It's my favorite one. Okay, so this is coming up pretty well with heat, which is good. I'm keeping my blade nice and flat because, as I remember, there's some cables. And I'm actually kind of twisting it up at a different angle a little bit because I don't want to clip any additional cables underneath this screen here. So I'm just getting to a certain spot and twisting as much as I can without putting glass shards everywhere. A little too hot on my gloves. Gotta move back a little bit. Okay, so at this point the screen does not want to separate, so I'm just going to play the risk with the Iflex tool and cut the adhesive. Just hoping that I'm not going to cut any underneath cables that I don't want to cut. Come on. That adhesive is very strong, even with all that heat. Okay. Nice. So that's the cable we were concerned about here. This is the phone facing forward. It looks like we have not clipped anything, which is great. Super strong adhesive right here, and that's what I was struggling with. Let's see if we can salvage this ear mesh from the old one while it's toasty. there's the old ear mesh. I'm gonna put it on the new one. Don't want to have any glass shards on this, obviously. And we gotta get the front ear mesh on. Get that side. Oh wait, we need this. Slicing my tool back and forth and trying not to ruin it. I'm gonna push it through this way. There we go. Got it. Looks like we got a very good stick right here, so that's good. And we're gonna have to put adhesive along the sides here. So let's get some of our water seal type adhesive, and actually probably put it on the display itself. Be better. Get our Tessa tape out. All right. Yeah, all this old adhesive has definitely been expended, so we need to put some new stuff on there. So we're gonna go ahead and just cut the old adhesive off, but leave this around because that's gonna be very hard to replace. Anyone on the videos watching, if you can explain this hole to me, I'd love to know what that is. I've never seen that before. Don't touch the front camera. Just be careful where your finger lands. This is mainly for the ear speaker, so that way it echoes through right. It goes through the speaker system right, so you put the adhesive right where it's supposed to be. Most annoying adhesive is a 1/2 millimeter. Jeez. Pain in the butt level. Make sure your meshes are on right. About to line up everything and push it all in. Just grabbing this cable out of the way just in case. Doesn't want to be sitting right up against the display. Just pulling it through with my fingers. Got a lot of stickiness. Start from the top left corner. Make sure alignment looks good. Cables are all out of the way. Just eye lining it up now. And then we're going to seal it here. Okay, now that's sealed, put this plastic back on. Now we're going to work with some screws and whatnot, so make sure your mat is nice and clean before working any further. No glass shards. Okay, this piece goes that way, and just move the pieces out of the way. Move the cameras up, an ear speaker cable up, and whatever that cable is up, microphone cable's up. We are ready to put the motherboard back on. Remember that peg right here too. Let's go over that peg.
Do you like cold water or some juice?
Sure.
Do you like ice water?
Oh, you want a bottle?
What? No bubbly water.
No, bottle.
No.
Oh, that's all good then. I'm picky. Unfortunately. I grew up on distilled water. Okay, so we're gonna grab that here. Grab this cable. And weave these cables right about here. I say let's plug these cables in first. That way they're just not in the way anymore. So I have to get pretty close up to this, so I apologize. I'm gonna have to cover the camera. Actually, let's do this. We can possibly still see everything just by lifting up the unit a little bit. Ugh. Trying to get this under camera angle, so we're just lining up the piece just right. There you go. And once you fill it over it, you can push it in. It'll clip right in. Those are always challenging. If you haven't figured this out yet, this is really for only professionals, and this is not for amateur first time trier. If you get stuck or if you need help, we are not tech support over the phone, but you can contact us and you can send your phone in, and we'd be glad to take care of your phone and repair it for you. Prices are subject to change, so I will not state prices. Just give us a call. The phone number will be in the link below. on how to send in your phone if it's too much. You can even send it to us in pieces, and we'll be glad to tackle the problem. Even if you messed up, we can possibly order parts and fix the problem, but it may take longer. All right, looks like everything connected very well, and this was not that challenging, to be honest. Not compared to the Pixel 3. Holy moly, that was a challenging phone to get in there. Okay, so let's get all these motherboard screws in first. Starting with this one here. As I remember, it was right here. And the second one, as I remember, it was right here. Don't really give you anywhere marker-wise. And there's a third one here too, as I remember. I think I threw it way over here. Oh, there it is. Let's double check that. So we will get our plate here and double check. Nope, that is not a spot. Okay. I'll go on to. Okay. This cable is going to want to be about the cable I just weaved in there. Doesn't exactly want to cooperate. It should though, from what I see. Let's see here, we came to an impasse here. There we go. That's quite a crazy screw to screw in right there because it's right where the battery is. If you mess up and you puncture that battery with the tool, you are in explosive heaven. You have died a horrible explosive death. No, you probably just get 3rd degree burns. So be careful there, guys, when putting that screw in. Just do not let your tool slip. Use proper techniques to hold your screwdriver so it's nice and away from that, because I have to use a lot of pressure just to screw some of these screws in. See, I'm lining up the screwdriver so it doesn't slip. Not too tight in here or they will strip. Alright, I knew better. What happens if you put the screw in the wrong hole? Sometimes they get stuck in there. Come on, stop slipping out of the hole. There you go. Every screw gets a place. Okay. Now, oh, geez, let's not drop that. Now we can finally turn it on. Woo, look, it's alive.
That's impressive.
Do you know its password? Okay, time to now seal the back since we verified the front is working. So we're going to go ahead and leave all this original adhesive on. It looks good here. And same with this. There's some parts that need to be shaved off here. But this should be all fine. We're going to remove it all. if it'll let us. Yeah. It's pretty thick adhesive too. Looks like it's not gonna let us. Make sure when you're doing this not to touch the camera lens or anything like that. Okay, and watch your battery. Put your finger under there. That way if you do slip, your finger's under there. We're using a lot of pressure to cut the old adhesive off. Still using a dull knife just in case, because I don't want to cut my finger. Jeez. Still didn't get all the adhesive off that I want, but for the most part I got everything I need. You just line it up here along the sides and go right around the wrap. Take your X-Acto knife, cut around the edges. Now this video is going really long. Longer than the last one. Hopefully with cuts and edits we'll be at an hour. Oh. You want to really go crazy, dig all this out before putting it together. Just don't slice that battery. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and put this cable back on. Very carefully, if I can. Very challenging. Let's do this upside down. Or sideways. That's what I thought. There's Captain Tape right there. I'm sure though. Okay, sealed right now. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and warm it up. Same heat level we did. So just like for all my customers, this is glass on the back and glass on the front. I'm going to recommend liquid glass here. Kind of hard to see it in the video. So it's an invisible coating that strengthens at the nano level. You can read the back there. Highly recommend it. You have to buy it from an authorized retailer. But basically, if you break your phone, they cover up to $300 against damages. But it's 2 times stronger than tempered glass that I've seen personally in drop test. It is super, super strong, and I highly recommend it. So after we get it nice and hot to the touch, now we're going to just force it down to seal it properly. And we're just going to do one more check to make sure it turns on. And then you can do all the check with checking front cameras, ear speakers, loudspeakers, everything, which I'm not going to include in this video. I'm going to put a link in the video description down below, just telling you guys I use Qualia Mind. It helped me if you guys are ever interested in that. It helps me focus throughout the day, as I have always had ADHD, and it's a great product. I'd highly recommend using, as well as this too here. So either one works really good. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. And it's like way too late, so I'm super tired. I think we're at 11:16 in the evening. Have a good one, guys.